Hello everyone, welcome back to Allcarnews, and we are inside the 2024 Nissan ARIYA today, and we are going to go take it on a little bit of a charging test run with DC fast charging here. And I've already run into some issues trying to find a station through the Nissan services, because when I do these charging station test runs, I want to use the built-in vehicle's navigation, and I'm going to show you what I'm seeing right now. Okay guys, so here we are in the 2024 Nissan ARIYA, and honestly this car is super comfortable. I love the interior design. It's so nice, very well built, a lot of cool features and stuff, but we do need to charge now. We have 26% state of charge here and just 72 miles of range left on the ARIYA, so I want to go charge. Now, unfortunately, one of the main chargers in my area is not functioning right now, and they're all closed. So I wanted to just simply open the maps and find a charger. Now, I actually put in a charger destination after trying to figure out how to find it. So I'm going to cancel that, and I'm going to show you guys how complicated this was for me to find. So I originally thought this was Google Maps. It is not Google Maps. There's a Google search on here, but it still is not a very up-to-date searching module. So then I want to press, oh, this looks like a charging button here, and it's searching for gas stations. But don't worry, all I have to do is just swipe over to this right-hand screen, and Nissan conveniently included a EV charging quick icon page. I don't know why it's loading right now. I think we have a little bit of a poor signal connection with the vehicle, but here you can see it tries to find some of the closest stations near you. But they're not all DC fast charging stations, so then you have to go to filter, make sure quick charging stations are only available, and you have this very rudimentary way of trying to find where you want to charge. You have to scroll through them. It's honestly not very super accurate as to where it can and can't charge. It says if some things are free or not, but from my observation, it's not very accurate. And there's a lot of charges that I've charged out here that are not even in the system yet. So I'm going to go to the one closest to this EVgo one. We're actually not going to go to this EVgo one, but it's really right next to it. So I'm just going to put that in since it's not in here at all. And it's going to take me.
Calculation is complete.
There you go.
Proceed to the nearest road.
There you go. So, and then from here, you can kind of adjust some of that fun stuff. But you're like, okay, new destination, all this fun stuff. What about EV information in here? So there's not much either. So if I scroll over to this page here, you can see your energy usage, as well as this screen I actually quite like. It shows you your driving range. So it shows you a map of how far I can currently go with that 72 miles of range I have right now. This is actually a pretty cool feature. I think more EVs should do this. Before it was like all the way out to here, but this is only as far as I can go right now. So that's pretty cool to see. But in terms of finding out like EV information, there's not much in this infotainment system here, like whatsoever. So if you go to all apps and press EV, you can see you have your energy usage that we just saw, our driving range that we just saw, attempt to show you charging stations, a charge timer, and climate control timer. That's it. And even in the mapping system, there's really not much information going on here in terms of like EV stuff. So then I'm like, okay, let's go over to our screen here. Well, thankfully there's a lot more stuff going on here. So if you scroll through these menus here, we'll get charging in a second. You can see our trip computer. So we've been doing 3.3 miles per kilowatt hour over this 88.9 miles since I've had this reset. I've also been averaging 3.3 miles per kilowatt hour, as you can see, and we have a fuel economy history. So a little bit more information here. Go to battery capacity. I honestly am not too fully certain what this is. We're going to see if it displays anything while we're charging, but I haven't seen it move or anything. We can see our charge time estimate to each level here. So if we want to charge to 40%, 60%, 80%, you can see how long it's going to take to get to these different levels at 130 kilowatts, which is pretty cool. It's the maximum DC fast charging rate. So we're going to try to charge to either 60 or 80 today. And if it says it could be quick from our 26%, so that could be good. We have an all-wheel drive torque gauge and tire pressure. So some stuff is just baked into these menus here. We do have a map view as well, and again, that's pretty much it in terms of our kind of charge times or EV estimation stuff. So once you start clicking on these buttons, you can kind of dive into even more menus. So if I go to this charge time one, I can show what estimate it's looking at. If I go to this battery capacity screen, nothing comes up. If I go to all-wheel drive torque, nothing. So it depends what menu in, but you know, that was just a quick overview of the minimal level of EV information in here. So hopefully Nissan will improve this. I'm kind of surprised they didn't include even more EV information, especially since they've been building the Leaf for so long and kind of have been working with EVs for a very long time. So I'd like to see that improve, but let's go head off to our charging destination now and see how this process works. Okay guys, so let's head out on our charging session here. We'll pop it into reverse, and ARIYA has pretty good backward cameras, reversing cameras and everything, so I do quite like that. And you know, this particular model, the eForce Platinum Plus that we have here with the 19-inch wheels, it's not the lowest range ARIYA you can get, but it's definitely on the lower end of ARIYA ranges. So this one's around 256 miles, the lower, or 265-ish miles, around that area. The 20-inch wheels are going to reduce range even more so keep that in mind.
Turn next right.
Okay.
Then make the
We have some
right
guided
turn.
voice navigation here. There's a few different drive modes you can drive the ARIYA in. So right now we are in standard mode. So what I've learned is over this week of driving, standard mode as well as sport mode will have like this natural regenerative braking effect when you kind of let off the accelerated pedal. But when the second you go into eco mode, it coasts. Because how I always say, if you guys watch my EV reviews, it's really more efficient, say, if you're on a highway or something with an EV, to coast than to have regen on, because you don't want to just stop on a highway. You just want to coast at that speed, and it does coast very, very well, actually. So I'm impressed with its capabilities in terms of coasting. But the real interesting mode here is the E-step button, which is right here. That's, I would say, almost full one-pedal driving, but it's not one pedal. This vehicle does not have a true one pedal driving function, which is a little bit disappointing actually to see. This E-step is essentially almost a one pedal driving function, but it does not bring you to a complete stop, which I don't understand why they weren't able to do it. What it does do though is move the brake pedal, like the Mercedes electric vehicles do, up to the point where the regen is no more, and then it goes to the friction brakes. It's really kind of hard to demonstrate this, but essentially is you have a blended brake pedal here. So a portion of this brake pedal, when you're pressing it, is actually regen, and it's in brakes. It's almost like thinking of like a manual car and a clutch. It's like you're just moving the clutch, it's that bite point, and it's that kind of sensation there. So it's a little bit weird to kind of get used to. Okay guys, we arrived to our better charging station. This Tesla Superchargers with the magic connector, thankfully, is built into these chargers, so we're going to use that because it's the fastest thing available over here. But it's actually an EQE or EQS SUV over there charging, and we have 64 miles of range, 23% state of charge, as we can just confirm those numbers here. I'm going to go plug in. I need to use my phone to do so, and I will update you guys the second we start charging. So if you guys didn't know, some Tesla Superchargers, you do need to download the Tesla app to look this up, have this little connector here that works with CCS chargers. It's built into these things. You just pull it in and pull it out, or you can use this plug for the regular Tesla cord, but we're going to use it for the ARIYA. So let's walk over to the side of our ARIYA here, pop open our plugs. We're going to open our ports as well, and simply pop in to start charging. And I do need to connect it via the app to get it working up. Plugs in pretty easily, and this is a good convenient location on the ARIYA to actually have it charging. Let's go start charging and see what our update is inside. Okay guys, hopping back inside. It says charging should be successful, and the ARIYA is indicating that it is indeed charging. Also indicative of this blue pulsing charging light on the dash over there, which is a pretty cool touch. So it says estimated charging time to, I guess 100% is 58 minutes. But I want to see what's going on with our little charging gauge here. I'd see what information may pop up on the screens of the ARIYA while it's charging. So it's still asking me to go into a full mode to drive. It's going through its settings there. So here we can see our estimates. It's charging, I think it says 126 kilowatts right now, which is pretty strong. It can max out at 130. Again, nothing too high, but so far there's not much battery information here. And you guys know how much I love battery information. I'm not seeing too much in here other than this charging percentage. And obviously this is going to increase over time as it's charging. But I like to see my charging stuff. I like to see some cool screens and things. You're not really getting all that here. And it's a little disappointing. Again, Nissan, please add in more. It's definitely more than some EVs. When I was in the Lexus RZ, for example, there was like nothing at the time when I was testing it. It was so basic. It felt like I was in a gas car that you could just plug in. It was weird. There are even plug-in hybrids that have even more information when I tested that thing. But this is a little bit basic. Maybe add a screen in here that could have some more EV stuff. I don't know. It doesn't even recognize that the Supercharger is here. It's a very, very new station, I will be completely honest. But nonetheless, it should be updated, especially when people are in need of chargers all the time. I'm trying to go to my apps here and see if there's any EV information whatsoever. Again, nothing. Even energy usage isn't really showing anything much. So I guess we're going to rely on the screen and see how it charges over time. Again, we're at 27% state of charge. It's actually been going down in its kilowatts. So it says 20 minutes to 80%. We're going to see if that's true. It is 4:38. We probably started filming 2 minutes ago, so 4:36. And we're going to come check back to see how it's doing in 20 minutes. Well, to a wonderful turn of events, I actually have to depart this station, or otherwise I will be late. But as you can see here, it says can't start, plug is connected. Well, let's just see what we have done in the past 15 minutes. I know I lied, I said we're going to do 20, but almost 20 minutes. And now we're at 60% state of charge, 172 miles. So honestly, a pretty good bump in range. We have about another 100 miles of range, I would say, you can squeeze out of this thing. So not too bad. Charging rate has definitely slowed down a lot. Almost 30 kilowatts in terms of speed has been cut off. We still have our little charging indicator light there, as well as up here on the dash. Nice little indication of charging, but we are going to unplug now. So I'm going to turn off the ARIYA, and it appears the charger is unlocked already. Let's see if I lock the car. Yeah, it still seems to be unlocked, so we're going to go unplug it. I can stop it from the Tesla app as well, and charging. We'll end up this session around now. Walk over to our charger. I should be able to just press this and end charging. There you go. I'm going to just pop this magic dock right back into the Tesla charger. Lock it into place. Close up our ports. And that's it. We have charged the Nissan ARIYA successfully on this Tesla Magic connector. And we have a good amount of range out of it. And honestly, it's the most reliable chargers that anywhere near me that are DC fast chargers. So great to use. Anyways, thank you guys for joining me on this charging session with the ARIYA. Stay tuned for more coming soon.